Scraping websites can be a mess. It's like shopping without a list. You waste time, grab random data, and sometimes you still miss the data you actually need. But here's the thing. Most people are still using tools that constantly break. Because with Firecrawl and n8n, you don't just scrape, you understand the page. It knows exactly what you need and brings it back in a clean, structured, and ready-to-use format. In this video, I will walk you through how to use n8n and Firecrawl to extract data from a website. So if you have this very simple workflow that starts with a manual trigger. Now that manual trigger makes a HTTP call to Firecrawl, the extra. So if you come to the Firecrawl website, for example, and you click on the docs, right? You come to this, the feature we are using is the extract feature. So you're going to see the extract feature, extract structured data from pages using LLM. So if you come to the asynchronous extraction, you're going to be able to copy this. And if you come back to this HTTP request node, you can simply click on import call and paste it here. But I've already set this up, right? So you have the URL here, the extract URL, the method is post, the generic credential type for authentication. You can you have to use your header alt here. Then here you enter your credentials. So if I create new credentials, I can enter, the name here is always authorization. Then I have to enter my bearer token. So if you come here in your dashboard, you should be able to copy your API key and paste it there. Remember, it must be preceded by the word bearer, then the API token. I've already created that, so that is already here. And the send body, I'm saying the body content type is JSON. So if you open this up, you're going to see I used key parameters, which URL and prompt. So if you come back to the documentation and you say, okay, let's go and look at the key parameters. Under the key parameters, you have the URL, which is an array of more than one URL. So you can actually have more than one URL you want to scrape at a time. Then you can use a prompt, right? You can use a natural language to tell it exactly what you need, or you can use a schema to tell it exactly what you want it to extract. So if you come back to this place, this is the URL we want to extract, which is basically this Rolling Stone website. And we want to be able to extract the title of the song, the year it was released, and the writer of the song. So that's why the prompt says, get a list of all the top songs, year it was released, and the author. So that is the prompt. Very easy and very simple. Now, the next node, what it does, whenever you send off something to be scraped, right, it usually takes time. So what this wait node is doing is that it waits 5 seconds, it delays it for 5 seconds, then it has another HTTP request that goes to check if it has completed the scraping. So here the method is get. I can see this is still the URL we used in the previous node, but this time we added the ID of the request that was made. Right, so that we are checking that particular request ID to see if it has been completed. So here we are still using the Firecrawl crest that we used initially. Now, this other node, this if node, what it does is that it basically checks if it has been completed. Now, let's go back to the documentation. You can see the possible states. If it is completed, it has the status of completed, processing is still in progress, failed, cancelled. So what this node is basically doing is that if it is completed, then the workflow can go ahead and come here to split the data. But if it is false, it keeps checking. So it waits 5 minutes, checks again. If it's false, it comes back, waits another 5 minutes, then checks again. Now, this separates data. Basically, what it does is that because we are extracting a number of things, right? Different titles, different year it was released, and different authors. So what this does is that it separates them into different lines. Then this is just a Google Sheet node that we are just basically updating it into this Google Sheet. We want it to appear in this Google Sheet here to update the title, the author, and the year it was released. So let's go ahead and run this workflow and see how it works. So if I execute this workflow, it has sent that scraping request. Here it is waiting. It waits 5 seconds and it's going to repeatedly check if the scraping is complete. If the answer is no, it comes back, it waits again, it checks again. If the answer is still no, you can see this is the third time it's doing this. It will wait again. It's going to keep going through this loop. Now, so it has completed at the 6th run. It will split out the data. You can see it has splitted out that data as it was Harry Styles. Yeah, it was released 2022. So you can see Harry Styles, the title is as it was, and the year is 2022. So it's basically going to strip out all this data and it's going to give it to you in a very nice, clean format. Then, of course, we're able to then update it into this Google Sheet. So you can see the title, the author, and the year it was released. All that information just from this simple workflow, and we're able to basically script this. If you want me to go into more in-depth detail tutorial, let me know in the comment section. Then I can go step by step from scratch how this was built and how you can build something like this too. Thanks for watching this video, and do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment so that I can know what next to build for you. Bye.